grab this one real quickly, real here. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody who is joining or listening in. A little bit of an emotional day today. It was my last day at Citigroup, and did a live at 4 o'clock this morning. Just sort of, come on, let's get this thing live. Let's go here. All right, that one's on air. All right, we got it. All right. So yeah, and did a live about 4 o'clock this morning. LinkedIn says don't go live twice in a day, but why not, right? This is the way to start to clarify ideas. I did a post, like a thank you post at about 9 o'clock this morning, just sort of, it was a closure post for me personally about my time at Citigroup. And that got 6,500 as of right now. 6,500 people have looked at that post. It's got like, I don't know, about 50 some comments at this point in time. My live from this morning had 16 people that looked at it. So yeah, that's how it goes. And honestly, this is where the real passion and the heart is. Create these things for an audience of one. This is the way to be able to do brainstorming, to get some ideas outside of the head that are rattling around, and to be present and to be able to go to sleep tonight in a way, to go to sleep tonight feeling empowered and ready for the day tomorrow. So let's talk about ECW wrestling. Extreme Championship Wrestling started in the 90s. It was based in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in a bingo hall, which became known as the ECW Arena. Really, the first time I saw it, I was, I think I was in college at that time. I remember the Gangsters and the Eliminators were doing chair shots in the stands, and I was like, this looks different. And I was a wrestling fan from the time that I was 10 years old. I saw Shawn Michaels when he was 19. If you're not a wrestling fan, I'm going to totally lose you on this one. Shawn Michaels when he was like 19 years old. Wrestled Budokan. That was my first match that I ever saw. But ECW is ruined. Like, there has been nothing that has compared to ECW wrestling since then for me. And I want to talk about a couple of products and teams that have sort of ruined me for any other way of looking at the world in 2020. And these are just companies, products, and ideas that sort of just mess me up for 2020 for any way of being able to operate and to be able to connect. And these are companies that I'm working closely with right now. And what happened there? What's going on? Some alarm went off. What alarm's going off? All right, alarm's off. Okay. So anyway, yeah, so it started ruin. So the first one that I'll talk about here is nonfiction research. Nonfiction research. I met the founders, Gunny Scarfo and Bed Zeidler. They came to one of our jam sessions. Shira Stember brought them. I remember when I looked at their reports, I mean, the first thing that my first instincts when I looked at some of their reports was it gets right through to the subconscious mind. And that's like a lot of the work that I do is how do you bypass the conscious mind? Because the conscious mind is designed to be able to keep us safe and to be able to, to keep us safe. And it doesn't bring out some of the best work, right? So how do you start tapping into the subconscious mind? And they're able to articulate, like I can speak, but look, I've got to speak like this. 16 people are going to look at it. 99% of this stuff, I'm going to lose 99% of the people. So how do you create something for an audience of people that really starts to hit and starts to connect? And their research reports able to do that. Run reports, Secret Financial Lives of Americans. How can I join? Chris, I don't know if I can't do live tonight. I'm only going to for about 10 minutes here. Screw it. I'm not going to be able to hear you if you join live. Let's go for it. Let's get on with. All right, let me get your captions here. Give me 1 second. I'll pull the caption up here, Chris. I think we can try it. I don't think I picked the sound issue that we had last time. Try this one. Bit.ly collective brainstorm. I know people could hear you last time when you were talking, but I couldn't hear you. But what I'll do is I will put on the LinkedIn and we'll see if I'll be able to hear you live on LinkedIn. There might be a little bit of a delay. Oh, there's going to be a delay if we go that way. Give it a shot. Yep, let's see how we can do. Have you come on? So yeah, so nonfiction research, just being able to look at their reports. One of the Secret Financial Lives of Americans, one things that I uncovered, I might butcher the statistics, over 40% of Americans have cried about money. They released a Spotify report that showed that people use their playlist, the Spotify play, use their playlist to be able to feel real emotions, right? So it goes beyond the surface of like sort of this traditional market research methodology and really gets to the heart of what people are feeling and what people are connecting with. The concept got introduced as far as happy washing. I don't know if it got introduced in the report or around the report, but what's done in marketing, right? Shows like, hey, you try our product and everything goes great and everything's perfect. And that's not actually the reality of how people are working, right? When I recorded at 4 o'clock this morning, like I had a crappy day today for most part of the day, right? And I come here on the end of the day. Again, this is a little bit of therapy to be able to share some different ideas. So Chris, I don't know if you're still on there. Where's that comment? Let me see where your chat is. Let's see if you can pop on there. Let's see if he's still here. Yep, there you go, Chris. Yep, see if you should be able to join on live with that link right there. Bitly, got probably come up with a better way of being able to get people to join live. All right, there he is, Chris. Let's see if I can hear you on audio. All right. Chris, you there?
Yes, I'm there. Can you hear
and
me?
I hear you perfectly. All right, that got set up all the time.
Works.
Excellent. What do you know about Extreme Championship Wrestling? Probably not a ton.
Nothing. I'm just trying to learn.
Okay, excellent. So why don't you introduce yourself? Who are you? And that actually worked perfectly. I love to actually be able to join.
I'm Chris. I'm in San Jose, California. I don't have much experience with wrestling, but I'm trying to learn from you.
You don't have to know a ton about. The main topic. When I started talking about just products that started ruining me for other ways of being able to operate in 2020. I was just talking about nonfiction and the work that it does permeates the subconscious mind. I was going to talk a little about some of the stuff we do with Speak AI, and then Yak has been the real big one too. That it's just like I think it's stupid to actually to sit into some live meeting. So, do you want to talk about some of the products that have sort of ruined you for doing things any other way, or maybe the people who have ruined you for doing things any other way, like in a good way?
I would say probably Slack and Teams has changed the way that I've worked. It's all asynchronous communication now, chatting. And I remember there were a bunch of colleagues that introduced me to this whole concept of psychological safety. Mm-hmm. And I realized that was what I was longing for the whole time. A type of work environment that has psychological safety, diversity and inclusion, and being heard, seen, and respected, I would say. And the whole notion of working collaboratively within cross-functional teams, that's a whole new way of working that's different from the hierarchical traditional corporate structure, the orange power structures that are not conducive towards collaborative, multi-team, cross-functional ways of working, breaking down silos. So that, I wouldn't say it was any one person, but it was like always multiple people, multiple types of software that kind of induced new ways of thinking and working and being.
Interesting. And you introduced two concepts: psychological safety and diversity and inclusion. How would you say that those are tied together, right? And I mean, I was gonna, like, my original hypothesis is psychological safety is synonymous with diversity and inclusion. But then I realized, my second thought after that, that's not necessarily the case, because if you've got a homogeneous population of people, you're probably going to have psychological safety, but you're not going to have diversity and inclusion. So how would you, like, if you had like a Venn diagram, how would you draw like sort of the intersection of psychological safety and diversity and inclusion?
I would say you're right, they're related, but and there's some overlap, but they're not in the middle. The middle would probably be what it means to be human, which is what we all share together. A human-centered workplace where compassion is at the heart of everything that we do. Because exuding compassion is something that we offer to all fellow human beings, and hopefully animals as well, sentient beings. So I would say at the center is the heart.
Yeah. It's interesting. The center is the heart. Yeah, I've been it's an interesting. And by the way, anybody who's listening to this either live or after the fact, this is completely a serendipitous connection. Obviously, Chris and I have we've gone back and forth. We've done this a couple of times, so this isn't our first rodeo. But I had no idea what we were going to be talking about, and Chris had no idea what we were talking about.
No, I had no idea.
All spontaneous conversation. Yeah, so it's, I think, heart-centered approach to be compassion, psychological safety, a heart-centered approach to be able to work. Yeah, interesting. Where do we want to go with this? What has you excited these days?
Oh, a lot of things, but I was introduced to the alphabet of the heart by Dr. James R. Doty.
Okay.
Doctor meaning MD, as in he's a real doctor. So the ABCs of compassion, the alphabet of the heart. C is for compassion, D is for dignity, E is for equanimity, F is for forgiveness, G is for gratitude, H is for humility, I is for integrity, J is for justice, K is for kindness, and L is for love. And so A is for, I think A is for, I'm forgetting. Oh, I forget what A and B are for, but that's what, and I'm reading this really interesting book, which is called Quiet Your Mind and Get to Sleep. It's by Dr. Colleen E. Carney and Rachel Maber, PhD as well. Solutions to insomnia for those with depression, anxiety, or chronic pain. I would recommend. I just started reading it.
Excellent. Are you where do you stand on you read hard copy books, you read Kindle, you read, you do Audible, you do all three? Do you have a preference for one?
I do Kindle, but they don't have this on Kindle, so I had to get the hard copy.
So you're primarily a Kindle person. Yeah, I've started really going more deep into Audible recently. Just being able to minimize the amount of times around, by the screens, and so I've been kicking around a bunch of different. I'm re-listening to Think and Grow Rich, Pam Grout's book, and I also did also listened to I always forget the title, Compete to Create, which is another little interesting one, which sort of introduced the concept again of psychological safety in the workplace. I got a question for you, something I'm struggling with. You know me. So my new headline, I'm struggling with a new headline for my LinkedIn profile. So I had originally, I was like, I help people 10x happiness through their work. I was going to do like productivity. Then I did like a voice first thing. So I've been through like 4 headlines today, and then where I've got it right now is I can't remember, but it's I help people work in a way that works for them. That's what I put down for right now. But I'd love your thoughts on that as somebody who sort of knows me and knows the background. I'd love any of your thoughts on that.
So you said your second one was voice first. Your third one was about ways of working. And what was your first one?
Yeah, first one was just around like how people, 10x people's happiness at work.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I love all 3 of those. So one on employee happiness. One is on, oh wow, yeah, that's great. Let me think about that.
Yeah, I think the one, I mean, obviously happiness is sort of at the heart of all of it. And I think that's really the driver. I'm thinking now as I'm talking it through with you, it's just, I think the important one is helping people work in a way that works for them.
I have another idea.
Yeah, I'm ready.
How about you do a multivariate test of all 3 and see which one gets the most views?
How do I test it though? I gotta figure out how to test it.
So the day that you had the employee happiness status, you can check how many views did you get on your profile. The day that you had the ways of working,
got it,
status, how many did you get? The day that you had the voice first, how many did you get? And then how about combining all 3 and seeing what happens?
Yeah.
10x your employee happiness.
Yeah.
New working and voice first. That sounds crazy.
That's an interesting one. I'm gonna go grab the puppy real quick. He's yapping in the background here, so I'll let you. You wanna hold on? I'll be back in like 22 seconds.
Sure.
I'll be
counting.
Keep talking. Just drop some quick.
Yeah, I was just wondering, Justin. So my friend Lisa Adkins, she released this audiobook for her book Coaching Agile Teams. That's the book I would recommend you pick up. It's an audiobook now.
What's it called?
Lisa Adkins, my friend, released this audiobook called Coaching Agile Teams.
Cool.
That's very related to your question, your headline on 10x your employee happiness and helping you to work in the way that you want to work. She talks all about that in her books.
Cool. It's an audio?
It's audio now. It was originally, I have actually the hardcover copy as well. But I haven't gotten the audio one yet. But the audio one, I'm telling you, she's the person, she's one of the world's experts on these.
Yeah. Excellent. I'll check it out. I'll probably listen to something. I got probably another hour or so left in the day today. We're doing snowboarding tomorrow, and then we got vet. Yeah, so we started yesterday, and now it's just we don't do anything like partial. You know what I'm saying? So it's either like we don't do it or we do it like every single day.
Same. I have to get to Tahoe next month.
Yeah.
Or Reno.
Let me ask you another question. You paying any attention to Mayor Suarez in Miami and what he's like? You keyed into any of the stuff that he's doing?
I haven't. What is he doing?
He's on Twitter, and he's basically, he's DMing, or I don't know if he's not DMing, but he's tweeting at, a lot of people in the tech space, and is like doing a very grassroots effort to be able to attract tech talent to Miami, and it's like ridiculously inspiring. He's getting a groundswell of support from a whole bunch of different people, and so he's he reached out to the Twitter team to be able to come, but it's just like inside of like like a lot of the work that we did to have like New York be able to start to compete with Silicon Valley. It's just like this is the mayor who's like who's really taking a stand in this area, and it's really inspiring stuff. So check him out on Twitter. It's yeah, he's like, a lot of people are starting to pipe up and get excited about the stuff that he's doing.
Yeah, we've got a lot of clients in Miami. Well, they're not doing well, like Royal Caribbean, but we've got a lot of colleagues. We used to have a lot more work in Miami. I think the most serious contender for Silicon Valley, other than New York nowadays, is actually Texas. Because, a lot of the companies in the Valley, like Oracle, HPE, they all moved out of the Valley and their new headquarters are in Texas. And Elon Musk has even moved out. He's even threatened to move Tesla to Texas.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. And it's like, I don't even know if it's like really, there's just like different places, right? I don't know if it's necessarily, a competition, but yeah. And Miami, like, yeah, it's an interesting one. Yeah, Texas. And they're going to Austin, right?
Austin.
Yeah. I just saw Jason Calcanis posted, he was talking about Reno. He was talking about Vegas. Just all the sort of places we go. I piped in with Goldsboro, Pennsylvania. That's where I'm thinking it's one of the next locations for all the hot action. But it's
I think you're going to be the pioneer.
The pioneer for this for this area. Yeah, there's a couple of us here that are doing some interesting stuff. Matt from Dev Guild. I'm sure there's more people here. I just don't even know. Like, we're not able to do anything that is, any live events at this point in time, obviously. But yeah. So it's, but it's, yeah. I think it'll be a fun little play to start working sort of in the Goldsboro space. So, yeah. So the other, I'm messing around with a whole bunch of like ways to do the tech, but the goal is to take the like really creating these things for the transcripts and starting to take the transcripts and then turning them into, blog posts, doing some SEO around this. Maybe even like my goal is really to even get the structure in the way where like a transcript from one of these sessions could get turned into a Kindle book, like immediately on the back end, and just like, so that's a little bit, that's the passion project, and for, why I go sort of live with some of the stuff. And I said, the goal soon enough is to really just be able to figure out how to create an experience doing this thing walking, like just walking through the woods and not sitting in front of the computer. But I just want to get all the tech and all that stuff worked out beforehand. So any closing thoughts? Anything you want to plug your blog?
Sure. My blog is pmchrislee.medium.com. I wanted to ask you, so did Matt from was it a coincidence that you moved to Goldsboro, or did Matt from Dev Guild inspire you to move there?
No, we didn't know each other. We met each other on
wow.
No, we met each other on the streets.
On the street of Goldsboro?
Yeah, they were walking through. Well, they have a Boston Terrier as well. And actually, not as well. They were walking through the streets with their Boston Terrier, and the kids wanted the Boston Terrier. And so we actually, we reached out to them. It was very cool, actually. We reached out to them to get a puppy, and there were no puppies. We looked from like Ohio through, I think, down through Virginia up through Maine. Like literally no puppies were available, and they turned us on to the family that they got their puppy from, and they wound up just having one. And my wife wanted a golden or brown and white, which is not common for Boston Terriers, and they just happened to contact them on the right day. I think somebody pulled out like the day before, and so we just saw pictures of this guy, and then he's with us all the time. So he hangs out with me in the basement now. Everybody else is sleeping at night, so this is the activity. But yeah, that's how we met. And then there's somebody else. I think there's an executive from Oracle who lives here as well. But it's
really? Wow.
Yeah, I think just really, once things start picking up again, I don't know. I don't know what, we're talking about, there's some, like I said, there's some inspiration to do some stuff in Miami. There's like, depending on what happens in New York, paying close attention to the mayor race for New York. That could be really interesting to do.
Andrew Yang.
I'm sorry?
Andrew Yang is running for mayor for New York. You know that, right?
Has he announced?
Yeah, he's filed.
Oh, has he? When? Oh, I didn't know it was live.
Pretty recently, he's filed.
Yeah. Okay. I knew it was rumored. So
Yeah, no, it's confirmed now.
oh, cool. Yeah. So that's what. Yeah. So like that's exciting. That's interesting. I wish it would have happened a year earlier. With, well, I don't even know if I wish, right? But it was just like, so there might be something like, I think he'll have a big commitment to the tech space in New York City. Miami is interesting, but I'd love just create a little. But it's also the sort of the rural place that also the inspiration. Tony Hsieh, like he just he took the parking lot in Las Vegas and just turned it into a space. And I've always wanted to just take a piece of land and turn it into an innovation space where people can actually just like meet and connect. And it's just like, and this is it, like, right? You just like, and then 10 o'clock at night, you just turn the cameras on, you go live and just do like a fireside chat. Like, I mean, that's sort of what the inspiration is for this sort of stuff. That's why I've been thinking about it. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does with in New York. If he becomes mayor in New York City with the tech space. You thinking of moving back?
No. I'm happy in San Jose. I have no desire to move back to New York City. Are you going to move back?
I don't know. I mean, maybe, probably some combination thereof. I don't know. We got to take care of school. We got to get school figured out. And then also gym is the big issue. We don't have that's like huge for our family not to be able to go to the gym. So, and the gym is 2 blocks away, so that's a big. Can you hear him snoring?
Yes, it's very loud.
It's all right. All right, you. Yeah, the gym is like 2 blocks away, so those are the big. If we get that figured out, but my wife we've got a gym in our garage that we got started. Oh, the other big thing, not a big thing, Fitness Plus. Are you an Apple Watch user?
Yes, and a Fitbit user, both.
Fitness Plus on the Apple Watch is it's Peloton equivalent for about $8 a month, and you can use your own equipment. So we got a bike that it's coming for about $300. It's not Peloton quality, but it's very similar to it. And then we pay, I think, $20 for the whole family on Fitness Plus. You just plug these workouts in. You got it's the workout. Not great yet because they just started. They don't have it. They don't have as much content, but I love the fact that I can drive. Like I can just like hit my watch and it shows up on the TV, and I'm working out. So I think it's really hot. Because I still say like the best tracker is the Apple Watch. The 3 rings in the Apple Watch is the most brilliant interface that there is. It just runs in the background. And my only job is to do the exercise. I don't have to do anything else to make it track. I will give one more. I can't remember what it's called actually. This is bugging me. But I finally found a budgeting tool today. It runs, and I've been looking for, like, I've been through Mint. I've been through all the different tools. This is really bad that I can't remember what it was called. But it does. It's integrates with Google Sheets and integrates with Excel. And so you can do you can use all the Google Sheets in the Excel. And I'll probably hook mine into Airtable. Let me see if I can pull it up real quickly, see what it's called. Out to me. Can you hear me still?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you still. I just want to make sure because I'm talking about this. What is her name? Budget. Let me just see. Let's just see. Budget. What do we got going on here? Turo, The Hustle, Mint, not Mint, Leslie. I'll have to find it. I'll share it a little bit if somebody wants to ask. But yeah, I love it. It's I set it up today. I was able to create my custom categories and make stuff work. Oh, is everybody back here? Chris, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Okay, I thought I lost you for a second there. Yeah. So I'll be able to create the custom categories and make all that stuff work. So I'm pretty excited because it's been years and I haven't had a budgeting tool. Because I'm looking at like how many months of runway do I have? And so I calculated just with accessible cash. I got about 19 months of runway. Not that I want to use that whole thing, but
that doesn't count your wife, or it counts your wife?
No, it doesn't count it. No.
Oh, okay. So you've got some cushion even after that.
Yeah, I'm an independent entity in this one, making the choice to not be part of corporate. I'm not. I'm not.
You're a single member LLC.
It's not. Yeah. So I just. No, yeah. Yeah, exactly. It is it's with support, but not with
the investor money is a last resort.
That is not. Yeah, there's gonna be no investor money. That's gonna be covered. The investor money will be get a job. So
yeah, what do you call it? You're bootstrapped.
I'm bootstrapped. Yeah, but I was just like 19 months. So like, yeah, the name of the game is just like 19 months. I mean, this is what I want to do, right? I want to
actually 19 months.
I should figure like 19 months. I'll go live. Like because again, I don't even care. Like I did my post. I was sharing at the beginning of this session here today. My post today that I did, like my written post, 6,500 views so far. And the live that I did, 16 views. And I was like, well, I don't care. But I mean, doing this once, twice a day, you're starting to get good at, and then just pumping out content based on the ideas. It's like, and just introducing as a way of brainstorming. I mean, this is it. This is what I've always wanted to do. And then just a bunch of yak meetings, right? And like you put that together, you've got and then you see what actually comes of it, because my thesis is like, it goes, talking is the quickest way to go from the brain external, right? It's like, that's the freest way. That's the best expression of our brains is talking, or the most accessible expression of our brain. So, and then I get these ideas. I was like, I can't not do anything with that, that sort of idea. So, and now I've got the transcript running in the background. Well, we've been going about 30 minutes here. I got the transcript running in the background. So doing this once a day, twice a day for 6 months or so, probably get a good system in place to be able to create some opportunities to be able to monetize off of it. And so that's my thought process right now. And so, yeah, we'll see where it goes. But it's like, but I'm talking to a bunch of different, a bunch of different companies as well. But I was talking about there's just some that have just ruined me. Like, as I said, like if I've got to go do Zoom meetings, that's going to be a lot more challenging than doing yak meetings. But yeah, and just last thing to close off on Teams. Tell me how you're using Teams.
We're using Teams not just for work, but also for play. So I have I'm the organizer for the San Jose team for Ernst & Young, for our Dragon Boat team that we represent in the Bay Area. We have a San Francisco team as well. We have all sorts of diversity and inclusion groups on Teams where we just chat. We have board games on Teams, games teams. But before you go, I wanted to ask you, is Goldsboro considered rural?
Yes.
Okay. One thing that you might want to think about looking into, which could be a huge opportunity for you, if you're into diversity and inclusion, one area that I think is sorely represented is rural Americans in the technology sector. And there are firms like Accenture and other tech companies that do diversity and inclusion work specifically within rural America. It's called rural revitalization. They have rural revitalization programs. I think you would be perfect for that.
Brilliant.
Rural Pennsylvania really needs help.
Brilliant.
I mean, expanding into tech. And what a better way. And Biden is totally behind that. As someone who he's an adjunct at Wharton, University of Pennsylvania. His home, he grew up in Pennsylvania. He's just down the road in Wilmington. The new administration would totally be behind this. Like,
where do I start?
What's that for Blue Collar America? What's that?
Yeah, where do I start?
I would Accenture has a rural revitalization program focused on diversity and inclusion for rural America. You know, helping rural America work in technology.
Cool. That'd be fun.
So that's one thing to look into. Another thing is, you know, you got Erin from Wells Fargo into Walk and Talk. I was very impressed by that. She was a former client of mine.
It was actually an interesting. I mean, I've been walking and talking before, but I don't know that I don't know that I inspired her. Like I saw her doing it before she knew I was doing it.
She was doing it even before.
Yeah, she started doing it. Like I discovered her through walking and talking because I look at everybody who does the walking and talking stuff. But I definitely have. I was definitely more. I was probably doing it first since I've been doing it since like 2011. But I don't think inspired by her.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to do a that video that she did. I don't know if you saw the video she did where she kind of showed her command center.
I can't remember.
She did a video, I don't know, it was about a week ago. They were doing an offsite where she was showing her command center. They used Confluence. They were using Slack, but she showed like 9 different monitors. I want to do the purely mobile version of what she did. You know, like where it's, because you know my neck desk, right? Do I have it here? Yeah. I don't have it here, but yeah, I want to do like, because it was just like, yeah, the whole point of like having to sit behind a computer is just, it's that's going to be over soon, I think, you know, unless people actually want to do that. And then with the glasses, but yeah, I think the walking into, I think if there's one thing that would just like, as I said, I think it would just, it's a bad enough experience right now for, I don't know if it's a bad experience, but it's not as attractive experience for people to like watch these things live, just with just off the cuff. So I want to get a little bit more button, but I literally just want to go through the woods and just for these sessions and then yeah, that's the goal, because that should do sort of the best thinking. That's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna check into the rural revitalization. I've got some friends over at Accenture as well. I think that would be a fun little play. And I'd like to go heads up. I mean, not like go heads up with Miami or go heads up with New York for like cool. I think that would be fun.
I mean, imagine you like just like selling rural revitalization in the heartland of America.
Yeah, why not? And it's an excuse for us today.
People selling services, that could be fun.
Yeah.
If I was living in the rural areas, I would, although I'm an Asian guy, I might not fit in doing that work. But if I was in rural America, that would be my thing.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think
blue collar America.
Yeah, there's a lot of sort of, yeah, it's an interesting one. I will yeah, I'm gonna check it out actually. And then yeah, I've been looking, I haven't found, I like Accenture and I love the stuff that they're doing, but it's like, if you have to go to these job boards, they're just terribly uninspiring. But it's just like, that's why I'm like, programs are more interesting than like these horrible jobs. I mean, somebody should just start a business around, jobs, like job descriptions. Cause like I've literally looked at thousands and I don't have, not one has stood out as like, oh, this is like these people, I'm clear that these people know what they want. At 0 out of 1,000 have been like, or I should say they're clear and I'm a match for that. I mean, that's just like, they're like resumes, right? Like resumes are just typically terribly uninspiring as well. Which I'll do a plug for, yeah. So yeah, I'll check out, I wrote ruralrevitalization.com. I don't know if that's a real thing, but if it's not, then
doesn't appear to be. You'll be the first.
Yeah, right. I'd say like, you're right. It either exists already or I'm going to be starting it tonight.
Yeah.
All righty, Chris. Always a pleasure. Yeah, I'll probably, go ahead.
Yeah, you'll probably what?
I'll be doing this more often. So yeah, you just come on anytime and then,
good.
And then we'll take it from here. I did my first one at 4:00. I'm doing this one about 11 o'clock.
I said 4:00 Eastern, or
yeah, 4:00 Eastern. That's like,
I don't know how I missed that. I was I was probably having lunch. No, I was asleep. Actually.
No, 4 a.m. 4 a.m.
4 a.m. Yeah, I saw that. I couldn't. That was 1 a.m. Pacific. I was asleep.
Yeah, no worries. I wasn't expecting
you were up very early. What were you doing at 4
I couldn't sleep. I just couldn't, like, we just had, like, we got a bunch of big personalities in this house. And so yesterday was a little bit of a rough day. So I was just like, I couldn't sleep.
I noticed you do. By the way, how tall is Han Ming?
Say it one more time.
How tall is Han Ming?
5'2".
Really?
Yeah.
Never would have guessed.
How tall do you think she is?
I thought she was a lot taller than that. I thought she was 5'8".
Really?
Yeah, I have a very bad sense of perception.
Spatial. Yeah, no, she's like 5'2". I'll tell you said that. I think I'll be taking it as a compliment, right? I guess so.
What's that?
I'll tell her. Alrighty, sir. Thanks for coming on. I'm glad you have the sound. I don't know why I didn't make any changes since the last time where I couldn't hear you.
Yeah. Well, you probably restarted the computer is what you did.
Yeah. So you can hear him still snoring. Right. This is like, you're not the best guest here. Alrighty. Have a great one. Thanks so much for coming on.
Good night.
You dropped another nugget. Like, that's what I should do, Chris. You need to be the, like, you're like the ombudsman. I don't know if that's the right term for my, like, next move. You just drop nuggets, like, at the end of these sessions that, like, lead me down a path of, like, that's the perfect solution. I'll tell you, that PwC, I went to that PwC site for, like, first of all, I went to the EY site for gigs, and there was just, oh, you still with me?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, and it was just like, that was like terribly uninspiring. And then I went to the PwC one, and it was better, but it's just like, the problem is there's no human being to communicate with around that. So it's just like, let me just throw this piece of application into the ether, into the world. I haven't done the work yet to find out who the human being is to talk to see if it's like, because you don't even know if these are like, and they're just sort of, they're generically written, so you don't know if they're like real projects. So I really do like that concept of that gig marketplace. Oh, I will tell you, did you turn me on to it as well? Indeed blows LinkedIn away. I was
telling you about how I found gig work on Indeed.
Yeah, Indeed is, because Indeed, they're held accountable for responding back. And I still get mostly, because I go out generic resume, right? Which my resume does not like tailor to very many jobs. It's like me specific, and I go out, but I hear, they respond back. And I was like, I'll take hey, you're not a match. We're not moving forward. Sorry, he's got I'll take you're not a match. We're not moving forward over, just like, there's just something terribly demoralizing, even if you don't even want the role, like, about just lobbing something out there into the world and knowing it's just like in the abyss. And it's just I want to combat that. Like, I know you can do it through networking and like that place, but it's just like, there's something just very disrespectful about, zero sort of responses, you could set up automation for responses, or like, here's what's happening, like, hey, like, even if it's an autoresponder, but it's so anyway, I'll leave that one. We'll check out rural revitalization, and if ruralrevitalization.com doesn't exist, it will.
It doesn't exist. You should buy it before.
It doesn't? All right, I'm going to GoDaddy. I'll speak soon. All right, thanks a lot, Chris.
I hope you start your own recruiting firm.
Yeah, that's what I might do. Yeah, it's just like, tell you why. Like, hey, there's a rural revitalization going on in Pennsylvania, and then there's rumors that I'm going to start a feud with Mayor Suarez, right? I'm going to start attacking. I did that, I'm going to start attacking some of the.
Well, you guys are not really competing at all, because it's like two different audiences.
There's not competing at all.
There's enough pie for everyone.
I'm totally joking. There's a story. It's kind of a dated story, but Tony Robbins told it. Like, I can't remember if it was like, I think it was Knott's Berry Farm. So somebody took over Knott's Berry Farm, and we're going to be like, he said we're going to be like Disneyland, or maybe it was Magic Mountain. I don't remember what it was. And we were like, we're not even close to Disney. And said, well, just the fact that you are comparing us, even saying we're not even close, means like we're having a conversation. Yeah, right. There's no competition, right? There's no even competition between New York, Silicon Valley, and Miami, but it's just a little bit of an interesting way to be able to work. But yeah, I'm so inspired by the stuff that he's doing.
Yeah,
because like the mayor rolling up his sleeves, like slide into people's DMs. Like
imagine you talking to the different mayors of different rural counties and city and towns in Pennsylvania and them partnering with you.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
And the governor of Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
would be behind that.
And there's just the models for doing this stuff. Like we already kind of know how this stuff, it's like
no one's doing it. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. So yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it going. And yeah, thanks so much. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, you'll be at the forefront.
Yeah. All right. We'll speak soon. Thanks, Chris.
Bye.